Hey, what's up, guys? It's Bakes here, and thank you for joining me for this episode of my random horror reviews. Today's movie is one that I was honestly dreading rewatching, but I was just kind of like, fuck it. Maybe sort of hoping it wasn't as bad as I remember it being, but either way, today's movie is Jeepers Creepers Reborn from 2022. This is the fourth film in the franchise. So this one has been sitting on my shelf, wrapped in plastic for a little while now. But I was just kind of like, fuck it. I'll take the bullet, give it a rewatch, have it, you know, over and done with, get it out of the way. So I saw this one for the first time on one of those late night movie channels, like where something random comes on at midnight. And it was like maybe last year or something. And I put it on and I'm like, okay, I'll just see how bad it actually is. Because I heard it was a really bad movie, but I was still kind of curious about it. And yeah, it was really fucking bad. But someone picked up this DVD and gave it to me for my birthday this year. Shows how little my friends and family know about what's hot and what's not in the horror genre. I know I should be grateful, but yeah, unwrapping this one, I was like, fuck. Bummer. But either way, before we get into my thoughts of Jeepers Creepers Reborn, let's quickly get into the plot. So a couple take a road trip to this horror festival in this small town that also happens to have the local legend of the Creeper. After arriving, they meet some weird locals and win this raffle to do this escape room, but that also all lines up with the Creeper's 23 year feeding cycle, and now they have to try and survive the Creeper coming after them. And that's our story for Jeepers Creepers Reborn. Like I said, the fourth film in the franchise, and let's get into my thoughts of it now. So I'm going to try and start with the positives, because trust me, there's not much at all. In previous movies in this franchise, the Creeper still was this local legend of the area, and it still was done pretty well. But I like how in this movie the legend has spread and grown because of how long it's been around for. And the Creeper is treated more like a urban legend, or maybe a better way to put it, like this cryptid. Think along the lines of, I don't know, Mothman or the Loch Ness Monster or something. It's sort of portrayed as that. Which, like I said, in previous movies in the franchise, they already did that. And they already did a solid job of doing that. But it feels a little bit more fleshed out in this one, which I thought was pretty neat. I also didn't mind the idea of this creeper cult, or like these locals forced into a deal to feed the creeper in return for their safety. The idea actually isn't that bad, but the execution in this movie is actually really poor, so only a slight positive on that note. And literally already gone through all of the positives that I can think of, so let's smash through the negatives because there's plenty of them. There's a lot I remember being bad about this movie from the first time I saw it, but I genuinely forgot how shit the Creeper looks in this movie. First of all, they've recasted the person who plays the Creeper, and I can't remember the name of the guy who played the Creeper in the first three movies, but I've always thought the Creeper in general has been an underrated horror villain, but the guy that plays him brings so much personality and just really fleshes out that character so well, and I thought he did a great job in the first three movies, and whoever they got to replace him just doesn't live up to it. Like his makeup and the prosthetics are terrible, but even whoever is playing him in this movie seems like really small and skinny and just doesn't feel intimidating like the guy who played him in the first three entries. But even the outfit, like, why does it look like his hat is made out of electrical tape? Like, I'm not fucking joking. Go back and watch the movie yourself and have a look. His hat looks like it's made out of electrical tape. It's fucking shit. It looks like a home job. Like, I'm thinking back on the Creeper's full reveal in this movie, like the scene of his resurrection thing from, hibernation or whatever, and I was sitting alone watching this movie, and I was verbally shocked at how bad that resurrection scene looked. Like, I'm thinking back on it now, and it was so fucking cringe. And speaking of shit replacements, obviously I'm guessing they couldn't get the rights to the original Jeepers Creepers song that they used in the first movie. I think they may have even used it in the second as well, but everyone knows that song. The replacement that they used in this movie was so fucking gross. Like, I'm guessing The song that they used was made for this movie. It's like Jeepers Baby. It's like, what the fuck is that? Like, when I heard that, like shivers went down my spine, and not in a good way. Like, I almost fucking threw up. I'm like, that is bad. The original song is so iconic. Everyone knows it. Everyone knew it before the original Jeepers Creepers movie. It's just one of those songs that has just lasted through time. Everyone knows Jeepers Creepers. If you can't get the rights to that OG song, you don't even need a song. Like, it's not part of his lore where, like, he needs to have that music playing or whatever. Just don't use the song, because the replacement they use is so fucking bad. Now, the negative that I remembered most from the first time watching this movie, however long ago it was how bad the visual effects were, and yeah, they're still really bad. Like, I kind of skimmed over the practical effects when I was talking about the creeper, and yes, they are really bad. There's one scene that comes to mind where it was actually okay. They opened someone's head and the brain was out, and I thought that was decent. But getting back to the visual effects, the amount of terrible and unnecessary CGI used in this movie felt like a fucking crime. So firstly, there are scenes where they've oversaturated the colours for some fucking reason. One scene towards the start of the movie in particular was like atrocious. Like, there was no green screens or whatever, it was an actual outside footage. And they like upped the saturation so bad. Like, the green grass was like this fluoro vibrant green for some reason. It was like hurting my eyes. And then there was like this rusty gate, and they like tuned up the rust so much it was like this bright orange, and I'm like, what the fuck are they doing? Then I reckon about 65% of this movie uses green screen, and again, it's horrible, especially the graveyard scenes and scenes in the Creeper's lair. It's to the point where the green screen and CGI and all that shit is so distractingly bad, it just makes it so much worse and so much harder to get through. It's just like, okay, what the fuck is happening? This is hurting my eyes. Why have they done this? Like, so many of the background shots could have just been filmed. Like, maybe you can't build a set or whatever, but you could have just went outside. Like, it's that bad and that distracting. Now, I've covered the visual and practical effects, but you might be wondering, the story or acting, is that any good? No, not really. And I could dive a little bit more into that, but I just feel like it's not worth it by this point, because I'm sure you're gathering how little I liked this movie. So Jeepers Creepers Reborn was a pain to sit through. Like, not only did I keep zoning in and out of this movie, I had to take a break twice. Like, I was just sitting there and I'm like, nah, I need to get up and stretch my legs, or I need to get a snack, I need to go toilet, probably when I didn't even need to, like, just to get breaks from watching this movie. But I finished the movie because there's no point doing a review if you don't watch a movie from start to finish and the whole way through. I just think that's pointless and sort of unfair. You know, you got to watch it from start to finish if you're going to do a review. So you're welcome, guys, if you wanted to hear me talk about Jeepers Creepers Reborn, because I sat through it. And this movie doesn't have the longest runtime. It's like 80 minutes or so, 84 minutes. But it felt like it was going forever. And it's not even close to a so bad it's good movie. It's just bad. And I've spoken about how a movie can be bad, but as long as it's entertaining. Like, that's what every movie aims to be, entertaining. It can be a dumpster fire, low budget, shit show, whatever. As long as it's entertaining, you're alright. But as you can tell, I was zoning in and out. I had to have breaks. I wasn't entertained. Even the dumb little things that could have been sort of funny because of how ridiculous this movie gets at times, but I guess the movie already put me in a bit of a shit mood. Like, there was a part where they get sold this plain road map, like they're looking for directions, and she pulls out this dusty map that you can barely read, and she's like, yeah, you got to go up this road and turn here, and he's like, oh yeah, thanks, and she's like, $50. And then he pays for it. It's like, bruh, no, you already gave me the directions. I don't even need the map. He paid $50 for a fucking dusty ass map. Like, that was stupid. Or at that horror festival, the Wi-Fi goes out, so the DJ playing music does what a good DJ should do anyway, and gets on the decks himself. But he's like, it doesn't matter that the Wi-Fi's out, guys. I'm gonna play the music anyway. And then plays the exact same song that was playing through the Bluetooth Wi-Fi anyway. It's like, what the fuck? Why weren't you just playing the decks in the first place if you're going to be playing the same song? It was so fucking dumb. So to get to a score for this movie, I'm going to give Jeepers Creepers Reborn a 1 out of 10. I think that's the lowest score that I've given a movie for my random horror reviews on my channel so far. Like, I've seen worse movies in my life, but I think a 1 out of 10 is the lowest score I've rated anything on my channel, like I said, which is a shame. I know the Jeepers Creepers franchise is kind of controversial in the horror community because of the original director and creator, Victor Salva, and fair enough, fuck that guy and fuck what he did. I won't go into that, but he's a terrible person, I'm not denying that at all. But separating the art from the creator, I know a lot of people don't like that either. They're like, nope, you gotta completely wipe it off the map. I am one to separate the art from the creator, and to be honest, I love the first two movies. I think Jeepers Creepers 1 and 2 are so much fucking fun. Like, this movie, as you can tell, I fucking hated it. But I still, like, right now, I want to watch Jeepers Creepers 1 and 2. They're so fucking good. Jeepers Creepers 3, or it's called Jeepers Creepers Ravenous here in Australia. I don't remember it that well, but I think it was okay. I knew it was a major step down. It's not even close to the first two, but, I mean, it's 10 times better than this. Like, a tagline here on the back, whatever you do, do not watch, sorry, getting tongue-tied. Whatever you do not watch this chilling horror alone. Probably because if you're alone, you'll fucking realize how bad it is. You probably need friends and drinks to sit through this one. Like, I hate trashing movies. I don't hate it. Sometimes it's fun. But, you know, I try not to. But this movie is, like, it was so painful to get through. And normally something like a slasher, like, Jeepers Creepers is like a mix between a creature feature and a slasher. Two genres that should be so fucking fun. Two genres that I love, by the way. And it was so painful to get through. I could, like, find barely any enjoyment. I went through, like, the handful of positives. But by that point, it's like wading through shit a little bit. So, if you've seen Jeepers Creepers Reborn and have a different opinion on it, let me know your thoughts. But like I said, hopefully you guys enjoyed this review. And I'll see you for another video soon. Peace, guys.